Sure. Obviously, disappointing day. Not the result we were hoping for, but hats off to our opponent. Again, anytime you lose, you got to acknowledge the people you're playing against. Just didn't feel like we played great today, and obviously, as a leader, that's something I got to take responsibility for. Didn't feel like in any area we were great, and again. Whether it was our preparation this week, what we practiced, how we practiced, whatever it may be. Obviously, I didn't do a good enough job getting our guys ready. Obviously, there's a lot we can learn from this, and we have a great opportunity on Friday. But got some things we need to kind of look at, just like we do every week. Take a look at the film, figure out what we didn't do well, where we can improve, build on the things that we did do well. And just kind of go from there. But obviously, not a great day. But obviously, there's opportunities down the road. We just got to make sure we learn from this opportunity.
So I have questions for the guys.
So what was happening early? They go on that 5-0 run in the first quarter there after you guys jump out to a lead. A lot of goals at the doorstep. What was happening kind of on that interior defense? What did you guys see?
I just think, a lot of stuff we pride on communicating, being on the same page, kind of just got away from that a little bit. And then I just thought if we could get one stop the bleeding, get the ball to the offense and get one, get some momentum going, we'd be in good shape. But, didn't respond well there and kind of let it snowball a little bit. But I think once we settled in, got some stops towards the end of the first half, got some momentum there. But yeah, that was definitely a rough patch for us there.
Usually when Luke Weirman gets the ball moving on the Fogo, you guys scoop that up, but today that wasn't the case. Was it just a couple bad bounces, or was something going on there?
Yeah, credit to the Michigan guys in the middle of the field. They definitely, if they weren't winning out the front, which they did a really good job today, they were mucking it up with us because that's something that we pride ourselves on. And they did a really good job getting to our sticks and keeping the ball active on the ground and beating us to it. So just got to be better in the middle of the field next week.
Brett, obviously not the result you want, but Ajax scored his first goal of the season. What was it like to see, a fellow defenseman score?
Yeah, that's definitely a momentum play for us. Back to my last point, I just thought we had a couple of those plays. In that first half, we were going to get rolling and kind of just feed off of it. But it's a credit to Ajax. He made a big play there, and we expect those kinds of things from him.
Maul scored the goal in the fourth quarter, bring you guys within two, but then Jackson and Foam within the 10-second span of one another really kind of just put the game away. What was kind of the mindset after that? Because it kind of just spiraled out of control.
I think we just overall we try to stay in the fight, battle through adversity as much as possible, but I think that's something that we need to work on as a group right now. We've seen it happen a few times. Last week against Penn State, we gave a goal run of 5 or so. We did that against Notre Dame and Virginia, so just got to cut back on that, battle through adversity, and build on our team's good momentum plays and kind of let that carry us through the rest of the game.
Coach, what was the decision like to bench Kelly for Murphy?
Well, we felt like they were Shortstick and Daniel, and we prepared for that. We prepared that for a couple weeks, and just felt like, getting Murph down there. He's played some attack. He's done a good job in practice. Felt like that would maybe get our speed going a little bit. Just felt like we were playing pretty slow. And then we kind of moved Daniel back in. We just kind of moved him into a different role. And then, obviously Murph went down and then he came back at halftime. So we thought that would be a positive, but I just never felt like we were in great sync on offense. I didn't feel like we made some very good decisions early, just some choices. Again, I thought the second quarter was good. We started kind of getting back into it. And unfortunately, I think before we touched the ball, I think they got some quick ones right out of the go in the third quarter. And then you're kind of fighting uphill again. So, we've kind of mixed some guys around. We have a lot of confidence in Daniel. He'll certainly be part of what we're doing going forward.
Got a question, Brett. It looked like in the first half, it didn't seem like in the second half they were doing this, but in the first half, when they were inverting, they were dragging you and Ajax way up high, but initiating from up there, not initiating down low with midfielders. Was that something you all prepared for, or was it something you had seen before?
Yeah, that was definitely a point of emphasis. We knew super talented attack, one of the better groups I think we'll see this year. And, they're comfortable playing all over the field. They'll take you behind, try and get you in the pick game, and then obviously try and get some stuff going up top as well. So we prepared for that all week. And I thought at times we handled it well, other times it wasn't great. But that's kind of the beauty of it. Got to pick yourself off the mat. We'll break down the film, and I know we'll move forward and get better from that.
Time for one more from the guys.
And Coach, it seemed like you guys were gaining the momentum in the second quarter, and then in the third quarter they come out, score 3 really quick goals. What adjustments did they make that kind of made it so difficult?
I just didn't feel like, they won some face-offs, and I just felt like at times we weren't all on the same page. And again, they have some pretty good offensive players, and we knew that going in. Just felt like we were just not maybe like in the right spot, or we were just a step behind on a couple plays, and they can those opportunities. So again, stuff we got to look at and learn from and grow from. And again, unfortunately, a lot of things just happened today, and kind of happened all in one game. So we just got to make sure we stick together. Every Monday, whether it's win or lose, will always be kind of like the good, bad, and ugly. There were some good things today, right? We cleared 100%, which isn't a bad thing. There were some good efforts. Braden did a pretty good job as a freshman, scoring 3 goals. But obviously there's just too many mistakes, and just got to make sure we get back on the same page with some things. They just felt like they got to some good spots today, and we were maybe just a little bit late to help and support, and some miscommunication, which can happen. But we got to make sure we tighten those things up and drill that this week.
Thanks, Coach.
For either of the guys.
Thank you.
Suddenly it becomes a much shorter season, sort of a 3-game run here. What do you do, or where do you look to get that spark back?
We'll look at the film. I'll break down the film tonight, and kind of look at, and we talk to the guys usually on Monday. So we get the leadership group together and just kind of talk about where we are. How are they feeling, thoughts, reflecting back. We just talked in the locker room, so I'll talk to the guys a little bit about, preparation this week. What did we do well? What didn't we do well? I just felt like we were a little bit of a step behind today. I felt like we were fighting uphill all day. What did we practice? What did we not practice? Did we practice too much? Did we practice too little? Things like that. Where did we get? Where do we have breakdowns, and where can we get better? We do have a lot of young guys out there, and a lot of guys in new spots. So, it's still about the teachable moments and trying to improve. Whether we won this game or lost this game, we'd have a big game in Ohio next week, another league game, another good team. So really that's the reality of where we're at. We've had some good moments, some bad moments, and given with some of our inexperience and new parts, haven't done this a long time, it kind of, you're not surprised sometimes. You just hope you can overcome it. I just think we made too many mistakes today to overcome it. And, I thought the guys did a really good job in the second quarter of just closing the gap. I felt like if we could have gotten the first one in the third, and all of a sudden it's a tie game and reset, then we might be in pretty good shape. But give them credit. We kind of struggled to get momentum. And part of that, right, you look at the face-offs in the second half, and they did a great job with just managing possessions, long possessions, resets. There were a couple times where I was like, Coach Bernhardt, do you want a timeout? Maybe get the guys a rest. But then you're like, also, do you want to burn those? Will you need them later? Those are always hard calls. But kind of looking in the face-offs, right? They go 4 of 7 in the third and 6 of 8 in the fourth. You're losing the possession battle there. So now you have to do a really good job of getting stops, getting it out, and managing your possessions. And we just didn't do a great job. Didn't finish opportunities. I didn't feel like we shot particularly well. I felt like at times we were trying to work harder, not smarter. And it's a great group. It really is a good group of kids. Even when we talked in there, I'm like, listen, this is me not being like, I'm not mad at you guys. Obviously, I feel for you because you guys are disappointed. But we want the performance to be better. So we've got to really look on Monday at how can we improve and how can we avoid some of these breakdowns. And with those two guys, I know we'll get good leadership, so I'm looking forward to Monday already, just because I know it's back to work. So one game doesn't define you. It's really how you respond to it, and that's really the most important thing we do as coaches and teachers.
It's now been 2 straight games we're coming out of the half offensive very sluggish. Has it been a game plan issue, execution issue, or a little bit of both?
I just think we just didn't really play well. I think 2 kind of different situations with the stylistically of the teams that we're playing against. I don't think we executed particularly well. So that's stuff we kind of have to look back at and say, all right, talking to the guys and talking to Jake and looking at the film, kind of make sure that we're getting feedback from them on what we're doing and how we're doing it, and make sure we're setting the guys up for success.
Last one. The team has really excelled at creating havoc and going defense to offense and having the shorties score, and there's been a lot of defensive goals this year. Is that now the style that works for you versus a setup offense? Does Maryland need to create that kind of havoc to really get the engines going?
Well, we'll always try to push opportunities and create opportunities, just because I think that's something that philosophically we believe in. And we have guys like Geppert, handles the ball well, Dante, Eric, obviously those guys have done well going from defense to offense. So we'll keep looking for those opportunities. It's a lot easier, in my opinion, to score that way than it is in the 6-on-6, because everybody's coached up so well. Everybody has good players. The coaches do a good job of kind of taking away your knowns. So the 6-on-6 goals are usually pretty hard. And if you look, a lot of Michigan's goals, like some self-inflicted wounds, just like there's a face-off and we don't cut the break and they get one. There's another one where we have a really slow sub in the first quarter. They get one, a couple late where we're pressure riding and we don't get back and they score. So things that I think will be painful when we watch the film, but it won't be just because our kids are competitive and they care. But at the end of the day, it's stuff we just got to be better at. We got to learn, we got to grow, and again, that's our job, right? We knew this would be a season where there, wouldn't be easy just with what we lost, and then with the injuries, it's like, you got new guys in new spots, and listen, we got to keep working with them. We just got to keep coaching them up. We believe in our guys, and again, in a lot of ways, some of these guys are doing a really good job. We just didn't play well today, and we got to remember that like one game's not going to define you, but you need to learn each week, and you need to keep growing, and you can't make the same mistakes because people will try to exploit it. So again, I'm excited for Monday. Now we just got to get back to work and stick together and make sure that the guys are focused and ready to go on a short week.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.